What's happening, everyone? This is Uncle Devin, the children's drum cushionist, and welcome to another wonderful episode of We Nation Podcast. We Nation is part of the We Nation series, which is Watoto Entertainment and Education. And did you know that Watoto stands for Children in Swahili? And that's what we're about, children entertainment and education. And you're going to get a little bit of both today. So I'm so glad that you're here. Make sure that you follow us on wenationradio.com. You can reach us anytime. You can listen to 24/7 online children's music, as we call it, family friendly global beats for little feet. Just go to wenationradio.com 24/7, where we play R&B, hip hop, funk, jazz, reggae, all the best, go-go, you name it, all for children and families. And then also you can always reach us at music at We Nation Radio if you want to give us some feedback. If you have some people that you think that we need to interview or have on our program, please make sure you let us know. But right now, I am so honored to have our next guest. I hope you're ready to get up and stretch and get your health on, because today is about health. And we have a good friend that I've been friends with his family for well over 40 years. Our families grew up actually in the same church denomination, so I knew, but I didn't get a chance to know him until more recently. And I am so sad. I have not been able to really benefit from everything he had, because I didn't really know him when he was younger, because he spent a lot of time out of the country. But right now he's here with us, coming to us all the way from South Carolina. I want you to please help me welcome our one and only, our guest, Dr. Maurice Olfus. Welcome to We Nation
Hey, Devin, how you
Podcast.
doing?
Man, I'm doing great. It's an honor to have you here today.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Oh man, well, you know what? We got a lot to cover, because my audience is something. Of course, my audience is very sophisticated, but we also want them to make sure that they stay in good health. And you have some great things that you really want to share with us. Let's talk a little bit about first of all, tell the audience a little bit about who you are, and what you do.
Well, let's begin with that I'm Maurice Olfus, and I'm not a medical doctor. I
Okay.
received my doctorate degree in business administration, but always had a passion for martial arts. Tai
Mm,
Chi specifically was a requirement of my martial arts training growing up. So, as you know, we grew up practically around each other through the church and
yes.
everything.
Yes.
And through my travels overseas, I'm a retired State Department diplomat, and
Hmm.
I've kept this passion up with Tai Chi. So, following
Wow.
retirement, my focus has been on a couple of things: getting Tai Chi into the school system,
Hmm.
getting Tai Chi into communities of color, and why? For its health benefit, has been proven. There is a great book that came out by the Harvard School of Medicine about Tai Chi and its all its findings on how it controls issues such as stress related morbidity issues such as high blood pressure, cholesterol, etc., etc. So it works. It's proven to be effective, and I think it has a great deal of possibility as a preventive if we apply it at the front end with our children, as opposed to waiting till a child becomes old and then have these problems, and
Yes.
then we're trying to address something at the back end.
That's right.
So my efforts have been, if we can have a way of putting these preventives up front, we have less cost to our social system,
Hmm.
less strain on limited facilities in areas that have been depressed. And we have the most important aspect of this as well, and that is, in order to keep yourself healthy, you have to be involved with your own health. And the way of
Right.
looking at that is by looking at how we become not only reactionary, but preemptive of some of the problems that may come down. So that's why I'm
Wow.
urging children to be involved in this program.
So then, what is Tai Chi, and how did you become involved with it?
Tai Chi is a form of mind body exercise that is based on slow and flowing choreographed movements. It was, I got involved at a very early age. In Washington, D.C., you have a lot of fantastic martial artists. Of note is my friend, my teacher, first teacher, Grandmaster Dennis Brown.
Oh yeah, Dennis Brown. I heard that
Grand,
name in a long while. My
yeah.
brother actually used to work with Dennis Brown. Yes.
Well, I was one of his
Small world.
first students.
Wow.
And we've been in
Okay.
touch over these course of almost 5 decades. And
Yes.
so when I joined him, I was also studying other martial arts at the same time, but Tai Chi was a requirement. Now, of
Mm.
course, as a young kid, you'd say, oh, that's too slow, it's boring, but we had to do it.
Right. Right.
Now that I'm older and slow and boring, I'm more appreciative of it. So that's how I got started into it.
Wow. And so, how would you distinguish the difference between Tai Chi and Karate and Taekwondo?
That's a great question. Other martial arts rely on speed and muscular strength for
Mhm.
most part. And by contrast, Tai Chi relies on self awareness and what practitioners call is the intelligent strength. For example, if the martial aspect of Tai Chi is called Tai Chi Chuan, where you're
Mhm.
not hitting force on force, but you're learning how to deflect the activity, how to use
Mm.
the energy where it is avoiding the contact and rendering you from being part of a situation. So if I'm being forced to confront, you back away, common sense.
Yeah.
If something is being thrown at you, you move out of the way, deflect. So that's primarily the dumbed down version of it. But more involved in it is issues such as understanding how to control your emotions, how to control the stress, how to manage a situation without getting involved in the situation.
So, talk a little bit about your experience in trying to share this with children. Why do you think it's important? I mean, you already talked a little bit about why it's important for children, but how have children been receptive to Tai Chi? And why should a parent even consider it? Even if you can kind of recapture that again.
Yeah, one of the things we looked at is that stress today on children is tremendous. You would agree. And
Yeah, oh yes.
Tai Chi has a basis of looking at meditation, breathing,
Hmm.
understanding how to breathe. Um, there's an old adage where one student asked his master, he said, Master, how can I live for a long time? And the master said, keep breathing. So the
Mm,
idea is that breathing is one way of calming the mind. So when you're in a
yes.
meditative state, certain things happens in the brain. The neural cortex functions, brain cells become more alive, memory starts to improve. All these cognitive factors helps a child can do better in school.
Okay. All right. Now, so let me ask you this: since we have plenty of children watching, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Is there a particular move right now, even where we are, that you can share that maybe I'll even try it with you without showing? I don't know if I had to show the whole body or not, but what do you have for us?
Well, here's a couple of things.
Hmm.
If I stand up
Hmm.
and just practice the idea of focusing,
Okay. Focusing.
we're standing with our feet about shoulder width apart or hip apart.
Hmm.
Now, we're looking at intention as being a very important factor of Tai Chi.
Right.
So, keeping the posture up, relaxing the shoulders, and
Hmm.
just pretend that there's balloons attached to your wrists and they're gently coming up. Now, what we're doing, Devin, you see how your shoulders start to pump up?
Yeah.
Bring your elbows down. Bring them up. Yeah, you notice how your elbows sank.
Oh wow, that actually
You
feels
added
good.
you added 5 years to your life. So these are one of the exercises. Now, when you put your hands down,
Hmm.
take a breath. Inhale to draw them back. Exhale as if pushing wood in water. But remember, those shoulders are going to be completely relaxed.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the meditative aspect of meditative movement.
And that felt, I mean, it really felt good. I mean, it just like a whole lot of pressure just kind of came off my mind and off my body.
Yeah. So we're looking at how to use these energies around us to help reserve that energy that's inside of us and
Hmm.
also to mitigate stress.
Oh wow. Okay. And so you've been around the country, and I know that you have what is it called, an Office Tai Chi, half Tai Chi will travel. Talk a little bit about that and how people can participate in this.
Well, people can get in contact with us, and we have various programs. We speak with women's groups on how to for fall prevention and the additives involved with that. We also have, as I done with Pasco in upstate or in the state of Washington,
Mhm.
where we work with the school system as part of their mindful activities. They have a
Mm.
program dealing with mindful tasting, eating, hearing, listening. We have also mindful movement. So I would involve with them where I received a grant to go up there and teach for about almost 2 weeks to 3, 4 different school systems, ages kindergarten all the way up to high school. And it's
Wow.
been very successful. So if any church or any school
Hmm.
would like to get involved with the program is usually about a week long, 3 days to a week.
Mm.
And we have different ways of evaluating. So we take a baseline of identifying what is the school's interested in doing. Is it looking at behavior issues where we can help children relax more, trying to mitigate bullying, restorative educational practices where they can
Mm.
stay in school and not be, kicked out of the school for a week. So we have
Uh-huh.
different strategies to help with keeping a child in school, keeping a child focused, and most
Hmm.
important, have a safe area which a child can function with their teachers and peers more constructively. So we work with guidance
Wow.
counselors in the
Yeah.
schools, and
Yeah.
we have a program that's been beneficial.
Wow. As one that, I'm professionally, I'm into conflict resolution. I'm for 25
Yes.
years. I've served in that for employment complaints, and
Hmm.
but I can easily see how this is a great part of that. It's your mindset. It's about, freeing yourself and also putting yourself in the best position,
In the best position,
whether
exactly.
it's physically, mentally, spiritually, what have you, to be able to resolve something and willing to try to find resolution.
It's funny you should say that because one of my when I was doing my doctoral work was on chaos and toxic environments, work environments. So
Wow. I would love to see that. Yeah, if you're still
yeah,
have that.
so
Yeah.
it's been you and I understand the whole process that communication becomes very important,
Hmm.
and also having an emotional IQ helps a great deal as well.
Well, I know that you were on NBC right now, KNDO 23 and KNDU 25 in Pascal, Washington. And I want to let the audience see a little bit of that, and then we'll put the information up on how they can see the entire piece. But I thought this was excellent because I think it was you, your partner, and then two hosts there. So let's take a quick look at this video, and I think they'll enjoy this.
It's 6:47. You're watching Wake Up Northwest. Now, from yoga and meditation to simply being in the moment, there are a variety of ways to teach mindfulness to kids in school. Now, Dr. Maurice Olfus and Jade Go are taking a particularly unique approach to help these students.
Yeah, they are here this morning to show us how practicing Tai Chi can help students focus. So, good morning, Dr. Olfus.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Great to be back again.
Yeah, so glad to have you here. So, what would you say? What are the benefits of using Tai Chi to help kids be mindful?
Well, one of the benefits is helping the child to relax. What we found that when a child comes into a school environment may be impacted by something called adverse childhood experiences. That means they have some practices which would make them be bullies, for example. That's sort of a byproduct of that. So what we want to do is create a safe space for them in the schools where they can come in, relax. We teach them how to relax and breathe. We teach them to breathe using various tools, such as self-sensory stimulation activity. What we found that when we use these type of tools, it helps to raise the oxytocin levels. This is a hormone that makes us all happy. Simple smiling helps us to do that. So if we can have a child be happy, it raises those things, lowers the stress, they become less disruptive. That's in a nutshell. So I've been blessed enough to have a team of assistant instructors in the form of Shigeka Go, Jeff Johnson, Lucy Wright, Gene Fakowski. They're holding down the fort while I'm here, but I also got to have Jade come in for us, with us. So what Jade is going to do is show you how the singing bowl works as a self-sensory stimulation activity to raise oxytocin levels. And I'll just give a little talk about oxytocin and what it does.
So this is the singing bowl.
Yes.
All right, and so is this what you have the kids do then?
We have them do because then they have the range of, once they get into it, they listen to the noise and it calms them down before we start the actual movement of Tai Chi movement. So this is part of Tai Chi movement. Okay. Some people will look at it as being something called Qigong. You can have Tai Chi and Qigong working together. So this is part of the process.
Okay, so how does it work?
Oh, it's beautiful.
So she's totally relaxed, focused. This is the intention, mindful intention, mindful movement, working together. So we have the mind-body connection taking place.
I feel instantly more calm.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Some people find it difficulty to do it at first because they're stressed.
Really?
So I'm gonna give you guys a chance to try it.
All right.
Is it harder than it looks?
Well, it all depends on how stressed you are. or
Okay,
not.
it's going to reveal my stress level
So
like a
here we
mood
go.
ring.
I'm going to see if I can
Monty's got a lot of
relax.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Interesting.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I surprised myself.
I know.
And I feel surprisingly relaxed.
So this is one of the tools we help to get the children involved with thinking, taking the emotional aspect out of it and putting the
I'm
rational
not as good
aspect
at
of
this.
it.
I'm too high strung. I killed
Your
the
bowl.
singing bowl.
Your bowl stopped singing.
I think the bull's trying to tell me something.
All right, I'm gonna stop it here because I know this was done before we videotaped this, so this information here won't apply. And that's, now being a percussionist, I love that because that's a percussion instrument. Um, and remember, boys and girls, a percussion instrument is anything that you shake, scrape, or strike to make music. That's what I call my 3S superheroes. and so now we see how, and thank you for even helping me with this, because this now gives me another instrument that I can use to teach children about mindfulness. I love those singing bowls, and what was the name of that that you mentioned that deals with happiness?
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin. Okay, see, because I just did a show on happiness, so now I'm gonna have to start calling it oxytocin. Oh man, that's awesome. And so, so now let's talk a little bit about your books. And I think this is really the most important thing that I want people to come away with, because you've been able to now bring your books and put them in a very easy way for children to understand them. Talk a little bit about your books.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Devin, we have the first book we have is Tai Chi for Health and Rehabilitation by myself and Andrew Townsend, my co-author. This is more like the detailed version of what Tai Chi is, the history, how it helps with healing, the practice of it, shows postures and everything else. So if a person really wants to get into a discovery of what Tai Chi is all about, they can read this one. Now,
Okay.
if you're a person who's very passive, and you have a child that wants to understand how Tai Chi can do two things: understand how it works, understand what it treats, and not get bored. So
Right.
it breaks it down in a storytelling environment in this whole town called the Town of Gratefulness, where everyone is grateful. And you have the main character, Randy Tai Chi. I would be more than glad to read one passage from this story, if I may.
And which book is this?
This is in Randy Tai Chi Manages General Diabetes, featuring the amazing grandma and Dr. Be Better.
Wow. Yeah, please read some.
I will be more than happy. One day, or was it 2 days ago? Anyway, two scientists made a remarkable discovery. Although the Chinese knew it 1,000 or more years before, these scientists discovered that Tai Chi helps the human brain relax. When used with children, it helps them to do better in school and later to become successful when they grow up, just like me, a successful author. Hello, smart person, said scientist one dressed in a Harvard t-shirt. I think we should call this discovery mindful behavior. The other scientist, let's call this one scientist two, wearing a t-shirt from a local community college, and said, hello to you too, equally smart person. I agree. Let's call this the mindful behavior of Tai Chi. And the scientists agreed. That evening, General Diabetes felt his confidence building as he watched the news on TV. The TV anchor announced, diabetes is an epidemic affecting just a select number of countries, but the entire globe. More than half of all Americans may develop diabetes or pre-diabetes unless prevention strategies aimed at weight loss and increased physical activity are widely implemented. These efforts could, in theory, save about 200 billion zillion Benjamins in healthcare costs. Ha, laughed General Diabetes. Soon all will feel my sweet wrath. He then let out another evil sounding laugh. Ha ha ha. But not so fast, General Diabetes. The TV anchor wasn't through with the report on diabetes. According to scientists Peter Wayne and Mark First in an article in the Harvard Medical School Guide to Tai Chi, improvements in blood sugar control were reported after 12 weeks of Tai Chi training. General Diabetes was no longer laughing. Now he shook in fear. No, 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 no one should know this. The origin of Randy Tai Chi, master of the mindful movements and awareness. Today, in the town of Gratefulness, meek, mild-mannered 10-year-old Randy practiced his Tai Chi in the security of his backyard. Suddenly, he heard his 8-month-old sister's glee. It had been a while since her last glee, so it understandably startled Randy. "Ooh, chocolate," she said excitedly. She was advanced for her age, you know. "Chocolate?" responded Randy. "What is she talking about? Why, chocolate hasn't grown in the yard in over 1,000 years. How could she possibly?" Suddenly, Randy's mindful abilities kicked in, calming his mind with belly breathing. His heart rate slowed and his brain clearly analyzed the situation. Mindful brain activity takes control within seconds. It's not chocolate that his sister was about to grab. It's, oh, the horror, dog poop, oh, the humanity. With a swoosh, Randy was at her side. "Hey, don't eat that." And in one smooth, graceful, mindful movie, he used a snake creeps down posture, scooped up his baby sister within seconds of her grabbing a handful of, well, you know what. Randy saved the day. Baby sister and Randy hugged happily on that bright, sunny, non-dog poop swallowing day. And from that moment on, our champion truly emerged as Randy Tai Chi, master of the mindful movements and awareness. Chapter 3, General Diabetes Plan Gets Messed Up. And I'll stop here for a moment.
Oh, I love it. Anything that has dog poop in it, you know it's gonna be funny for me. So I love it. But no, that's amazing. I mean, but again, you're telling a story, but you're teaching the concepts of mindfulness, of meditation, of really controlling the environment that they're in.
Right, exactly.
Good. And again, that book was Randy Tai Chi Manages General Diabetes, featuring the amazing grandma and Dr. B. Better. Okay. And then now you have another book featuring Randy Tai Chi, helps teachers manage depression and the effects of social distancing. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, this book centers on what we're experiencing today with the COVID. And I thought it was timely because, again, we're looking at the impact it has had on teachers. Teachers have been at the forefront. And what my research found that stress in teachers can carry over to children and then go back and forth to the teachers again. So what is needed to break this cycle is understanding, again, going back to self-awareness and intention. And so what this book will do is attempt to show how that process works and how Tai Chi can mitigate it.
And part of the stress that teachers experience is the fact that we just don't pay them enough. So just
Yeah, exactly.
that's the one thing. But many teachers are just they're so beautiful. They're angels because what they do with a little bit for our children is just remarkable. So I'm certain a lot of teachers will be interested in this. This is Randy Tai Chi helps teachers manage depression and the effects of social distancing. Very timely book.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
what's the best way for people to get your books?
Well, they can write directly to me, and I'd be more than happy to get a copy out to them.
Okay.
Or you can find it on Amazon.
Okay. And if you can, I have the your email address up on the screen, but for those that are only listening, share with them your email address.
Yes, butchoffice@yahoo.com.
Okay, that's Butch Butch Olfus Olfus at yahoo.com. And your organization is Olfus Tai Chi. Have Tai Chi will travel. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's I love that. Well, I'm so excited that we have reconnected. Things always happen when it's supposed to. I got to give shout out to your sister, who's an amazing person, by the way. I mean, she's smart, she's intelligent, she's She cares about the community and certainly cares about her brother. So thank
And
you.
she's one of my characters in the book too.
Oh, really? Oh, I really got to read it now. Well, again, this is for those who may have just tuned in, you're listening to We Nation Radio. I'm Uncle Devin, the children's drum cushionist, and my guest is Dr. Maurice Olfus. And we just had a wonderful discussion about the importance of Tai Chi and how Tai Chi can be used in helping many of the health situations in our children and our families, but also the many books that he offers to be able to help children with mindfulness. And again, you can find out more information from him at butcholfus@yahoo.com. And if you were interested in going back and taking a look at the video that he did again on NBC Right Now, you can just Google NBC Right Now, KNDO 23, KNDU 25 in Pascal, Washington, and then probably just type in Dr. Olfus and he'll probably come right up, and you can check that out. Or simply email him at butcholfus@yahoo.com. And before we go, I don't know if there's anything else you want to share with the audience before we end.
Well, I just want to say it's been a blessing to be here with you, Devin, and I look forward to sharing with the experience of Tai Chi to help others in our communities.
Well, anyone that's been connected with the master Dennis Brown, I know comes from good stock. So, thank you so much for being on the show and continue
Thank you, Devin.
the excellent work that you're doing for children. I know sometimes as a child entertainer, it becomes sometimes it feels like a struggle, but just one child is enough to change the world. So continue to
Reach
do what
one
you
to
do.
teach one.
That's right. That's right. So, all right. So thanks again, and we'll be in contact real soon. And for everyone else, thank you for tuning in to the Uncle Devin Show. That was amazing. I want you to go and learn and go pick up those books from Dr. Olfus. Again, reach him at butcholfus@yahoo.com, or just go to Amazon or Google and Google all of his books that we talked about. Tai Chi for Health and Rehabilitation by Andrew Townsend and Dr. Maurice Olfus. And then his other two books, these are more children's books centering around the character Randy Tai Chi. Helps teachers manage depression and the effects of social distancing. And the other one was Randy Tai Chi Manages General Diabetes, featuring the amazing grandma and Dr. Be Better. So listen, I'm Uncle Devin, the children's drum cushionist. Again, you can always follow us on wenationradio.com. Make sure you tune in to us every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. We're going to have Dr. Olfus on our show reading some more from his books real soon. But every Wednesday night here in Washington, D.C., that's from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have We Nation Radio with me and my wife, Auntie Lolita, where we're bringing you the best and family-friendly global beats for little feet. But until we meet up again, as I always say, life is a drum. So beat it.
This is brought to you by the
Uncle Devin's Show.